Welcome to the 35th IWAR Gold Strategy Workshop. I'm Matt Riley. I'm the host of this fun thing. If Larry's available, he'll be here too. Same with Scott. Going to try to hammer this out. This is a weird cycle because there's so much going on in the IWAR. You've got the Murano the Murano finals, Johnny B Cup semifinals, best of the best, the best of the best two, I should say, the Magic Clash 3, which is all the IWAR championship matches. They're going to get write-ups now. So the matches are based on this cycle. Then you have the matches of the IWL that will determine the winners for Wrestle Riot. So it's all kinds of crazy on top of everything else. The Summer Series is starting. The Lethal Lottery is starting, the tag tournament. It's one thing after another. The Queen of the Ring, the King of the Ring, name that jobber, a lot. So welcome to this mayhem. We're going to try to take a look at this and get it hammered out. And hopefully we'll figure this out. I'm taking a bit of different approach here. Sharing the screen in this part of the thing. If anybody joins in, that's great. If not, I think going forward, what we're going to do is Larry and myself will carve out some time to do this, banging out like a 30-minute, we'll get it like narrowed down. Because half of the show ends up being me just going, well, is anyone here yet? Blah, blah. And really, once you get into the, the numbers of it, the rest doesn't matter. So some players have asked me questions about, well, when you're breaking down the numbers, what are you doing? How does it actually work? So we're going to look at this. Now, I always say, first, if you have not watched the How to Win and the IWA video, press pause, go watch that video. It's about 20 minutes long, and it's the best way to get it, a good, quick lesson on the IWA, the holds, the values, the terminology, and ginger ale. Yeah, it's good stuff. I was going to drink some horrible concoction I saw at the store. As long-time watchers will know, I always, for a while, was testing different drinks. And I just gave it up for a while. So go check that video out. And then these videos are really kind of our group networking, the insanity. It's trying to figure out the various way the drops might go. Will they go that way? I don't know. I can tell you this. Last cycle, I went all in on 27-26. And not 27-26. What the hell was it? I went, it was 28. I went all in on like 28-26 or 28-27 or whatever it was. And it was bad. I had a horrible cycle. And now is 2 times that I've gone all in on a particular drop. And I know you always can say, well, look about that time that like Catfish Rob and Tim Clark, hammered out all those national titles and all those title wins because they went all in. And I know, like I was, one of our chat groups you're talking, Frank Snow mentioned that he goes all in. And the thing is that if you go all in on a hold, and I've often been asked this over the years, well, when you say spread out your strategies, why is it important? Well, I'm now in 2 leagues, so I've got to really maximize my effort here because I'm spending, 30, 40 bucks, whatever it is. I got to make sure I get something back. You want to win a title. Everyone wants to win. So I highly recommend diversifying your strategy options and your drops. And we'll go into that in this here. So what we have here is the current hold values. So you have 30 was 22.53, 25 is 8 and 12. So those are your automatic go-to holds. Everything else is in play. So the yellow zones here are the ones I've ruled out, and that goes for iron and steel, 27.26 and 29.27. And last cycle was 28.27. So 27 is a pretty safe bet rule out. I don't think they're going to drop 27s again. 45, 46, as appealing as it is, I just have a feeling they won't do that because this is a Ryan Patrick approach, but if iron and steel have the same number value drop, then gold won't. Is that set in stone? Nope, but that's one of the options. A couple of things I noticed. One is that 27 has gone to 30 5 cycles in a row. So one of the 27s has gone up to 20 to 30, and one's gone down to 25. So now it's a matter of really being aware of what else is going on. So over here I have this chart which I use to track. Oh man, I'm tired. Woke up at 5, went swimming today, went to work, 2.5 hour session of D&D and this. So not a lot of prep time. This ought to go great. But 110 is how many cycles I've been tracking this. This is just gold. And you see 28, 27, 27, 26, and so on. And I track what the actual drop combination is and what the holds were. So you can see lots of 12s, lots of 46s. And you can see 45, 46 was a drop combo twice in the past, 9 cycles. So maybe 3 times, I don't know. I can see 26 is dropping just because why not? And going with the approach Larry mentioned where it's like we talked last time, like what causes the most chaos in bronze or diamond, bronze, and jade. So this time I don't know for sure because Larry's not here, so I'm gonna fudge it. Oh my god, you'd think pouring half of this down my throat would really have more of an effect. Man, but so we have this 27. So this is just, keeping these in mind. And then there is this, for whatever reason, when I was swimming the other day, I just, in my head, it popped in my head that one's going to drop. Is it going to drop? Probably not. Will I probably play one anyways? Yes, I will. So, I'm gonna consider one. Now, going up here, I'm gonna exist instead of making it too much fancy stuff. I'm just gonna kind of hammer these out. Look at 1 in 33, 1 in 5, 1 in 31, 1 in 59. If 29's in play now, because 25 went to 30 twice in the past 5 cycles. Do I think it'll go again, or will 25 drop down to 28 and create more AHEM? Because I know, oh my god, guys like me who one of the ways I approach certain strategies, like with Atari, the Dream, I have always given him what I call traditional safe strats, and he's done pretty well. And what I mean by that is if I think 25 is going to go back up to 30, that's I consider the lazy safe pick. Okay, 28's more of a bold pick, because what that does is if I put 25 going to 28, that means that something else is going to 30, and it makes things a little more interesting up front. So we have those. Then we have down here 28, 26. We have 28s in play, of course. 25 cycles since 28's dropped. Probably pretty due. We have 31, 30, 33, 59, 531, 559. So somewhere in that pile is the right drop. And, I think I always kind of get a kick out of if you're on the dungeon page and you'll see every time the gold hold, or sorry, the holds post, there's this flood of responses, and it goes one of two ways. Either I had 7, or 2 PPF, blah, 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 and this, or this game sucks. That's rigged. I know last cycle in the gold was really hard for a lot of people. People were pissed. I got a lot of messages. I'm quitting. the term I used to use in the FWA was Monday night rage quit, because it used to be the league's always process on Monday nights, and invariably there'd be someone who would just be bullshit and be like, I'm quitting. So in this case, we're all in the same boat. We all pick from the same holds. The difference is, for the IWAR, we're looking at 3 leagues: NWL, BRL, IWL. So here goes what I did over here. I'm going to put this away. This is actually my own personal thing. I just crunched things down. You can see what I do here is I mark off. Hey, there he is. I mark off. There we go. Let him in. There we go. What I do is I mark off which of my wrestlers have shots, so I know. So one of the things that happened this past cycle, besides the fact that the hold was really rough, hold on. Zoom share. There we go. Okay. So bringing it back. So one of the things that we found is that the IWA had apparently someone new hired. If I had to guess, I'd say they hired some summer help, or someone's out of school and going back, back in college, and they're like, hey, get to work on these numbers. There was a lot of matches missed, strats missed, and they had to replay at least 4 leagues that I know of. So that's just in gold. So, that's, it wasn't you, yes. So, it's a tough thing to have happen, when, it goes that way. Because, like one wrestler in particular, he thought he won the Battle Royal in the BRL. He was told you've won $50 in the BRL Battle Royal. And then all of a sudden he wasn't. So, that kind of sucked for him. There we go. All right, there's my mug. So, I talked about some of the basics here. So we're going to look at the breakdown. So you have the gold hold tracker here. I have the averages, just again for fun. I also have over here, what I've been doing with this is what the holds go to. So the value 25 went in June 26, 28. In May, it went to 28, 29. In spring, it went 28, 29. So you see it's been 28 or 29 every cycle. So, if you're doing a flow and you're trying to really nail the perfect point value to get that, IWAR, IWA Tag Team Championship or 6-man championship or what have you, report hit, this is where it kind of comes into play. So combining this with what I do over here, which is I break down, just breaking down where it holds I think that might go. So, sake of argument, I'm gonna burn through these real quick. What I've marked here, the red one again, is I follow that the IWA's pattern or habit of, every other cycle when it comes to 25. So they kind of throw that around. So you noticed on 30, like 12 for a long time was every other cycle. 8 did it here. We had 33 doing it there. Excuse me. So, if I want to play that, I can see 5 or 59, the previous 25, one of them dropping to 25 again. So in this case, I've marked 25 with a D, C, and B. So those are my kind of just guessing. So I'm actually going to call this one 25A because the oh my God. All right. I'm not tired. So going through here, I'm going to buzz through this. So I'm going to say it's not going to go 27. We'll say 59 will either go to, well, let's see, what did 26 do last time? 27, 29, and 26 went 25, 27. So 27's a lot. So let's look at 28, change of pace. Let's just shake it up. We have 27 here. So if we think one's gonna go to 30, like this is what I talked about before with the Atari Sorry. Sorry. I like 530 going to 25. Yeah, it could be. Very, very well could be. So I hate this computer's so awful. Just admit him. I think it let him in. Oh my God. This is so brutal. There it is. Okay. All right. So what I talked earlier was if you play a safe strategy, if you will, and I say, well, one of these is going to go to 25. And, you know, with the 27s going up or down so consistently, you have two schools of thought. Thought one is it's going to go down again and it's going to go up again because that's how easy it is. And that's the thing about that way. You think to yourself, there's no way they're going to do this blank again. Like 12 will drop again. But it did all those times. So for the sake of this argument, if I want to think, 127 is going to go 30, one's going to go to 25. Well, we see both the 27s had previously been at 25 points 4 cycles ago. 45 just went up. Now, here's the thing. Just as the 25s every other cycle will go back down to 25, so will the 30. So I'm actually going to say in this case, 45 would go to 30. Means this one won't. So could 46 be the one that goes down to 25? Could be. So let's call it 25B. And, Justin. All right. Let's get Justin in here. There he is. All right. Welcome aboard. All right, so he's getting set up. This again is just, we're doing it old-fashioned way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach a value on this. So, if I think 127 is going to 30, 127 is going to 25. Now you might say, well, wait a minute. We thought we were going to do 27s because, it's true. I'm just saying to look at it a certain way, and that's how you want to look at it. Take different ways. So this case, I'm just saying if we were going to say these are going one with the other, we'd say that, B subset, if you will, the B set is over here with 27s going up and down. So if that was the case, I'd put more money into 45 going back to 30 as opposed to, going Kerplunk. 28. So 28's last cycle went to 25 and 30. So what will it do this time? Oh, it went 30 in the cycle before that. So it's not going to go to 30. I'm going to rule out 30 for 28s. Will one go to 29? A lot of 29s out of 28. Kind of goes either up to 30 or down. So I'm going to avoid 29. And if I'm playing this safe way here, I'm going to say 5 would be 25. And I'll say, let's see, we had 26, 27. We'll say 26 again. So again, this is just going through and trying to pick the drops that I think might happen. This is all information you can use to kind of get a good idea, for what feels best. Like I said, I was in the swimming pool at the Y, and I got the gut feeling for some reason that one's going to drop. Now, if one drops, I'm going to be like, every time I swim, what's going on, IWA? But if I don't, I'll take up running. Who knows? Not with my knee. Who am I kidding? So, getting back into this. So I'm just using this chart to show you a way of kind of filtering down your options. You can do this on your own if you want, if you like, that's fine. I use this to kind of help clear my head and go, okay, 25 last cycle went to 26, 28, before that 28, 29. So I'm going to say 25 goes to 29 this time, but which one? Well, this guy was 28. This guy 12. I'm gonna say 12 goes to 29. You know why? Because they're dicks. The IWAR are dicks for doing this to us. So for this example, I'm gonna say 12 goes to 29, and this goes to 26. So you get 29, 26 out of them. And then what that does is if I'm putting my strategy together and I'm plotting where to put different holds, I would put the 12 hold in like the 3-4 spot. So as a singles wrestler, I would have a 29-point hold in 3 or 4, which is what you want. If you're a tag team wrestler, you're going to put that 29 hopeful point hold 12 in like the 5 or 6 spot, or 7, 8. But we'll talk about that later. One of these days, I'm going to have like, Mike Cook or Randall or one of these really good multi-man guys on as a guest host and help me like talk about flowing, because I always get a kick out of the fact that there's like 30 people that win this World Six-Man every cycle, and I can never win them. And I have one 6-man strategy, so I'm a little bit against the odds. A lot of these guys just bang out 6-man like 30 cycles in a row, no sweat. Okay. Uh-oh. There we go. All right, so looking at 26, same idea. I know we're running on time. We have 10 minutes of time over, so we should be fine. The 26 went to 27, 29, went to 25 before that. The 59, I put 25D because I think it's okay to kind of say to yourself, okay, if the holds I have like the gut feeling with like 1 and 5, right? What is another choice to choose from? What's the other choice I could go with? I like 30s going 29, 28. Yeah, it could be. We'll get there in a second. So we went to 27s, we went to 28s. So let me bang out 26s here. So I put 25D. I think it's going to go 28. And that means that guy won't go 28. Don't know if 31 is going to go to 30. So I'm going to say 27, 28 is a possibility. All right. I'm going to leave the 25D there, so you have kind of reference point. So if you're watching this and like taking notes, like if people do that, you can see where I'm going with it. What I want to do is figure out 3 or 4 sets of drops so that I can give them out to my various guys. Because this cycle, like I mentioned, Johnny B. Cup, Toronto Memorial, best of the best. I have a chance to be a number 1 contender for IWL thing with Atari. So there's no one wrestler this cycle where I'm like, okay, this guy is definitely getting my A strategy. Next cycle, if I make I'll be in the finals of the Johnny B. Cup, but like whoever is going to definitely have the voodoo hex. Okay, so let's go down here to 29. So 29, I have 30. So now again, the safe bet is 25 to 30. Because, if you look over here, 25, running down the last few cycles, 30, 29, 30, 29. So the question becomes, do you think it's going to be that simple? And I really feel what happens with that way is if it's that simple, if 25 goes to 30, it means the bottom 5 is going to be a shit show. I've traditionally found that if they throw us the curveball in the front 10, the back 5 are easy, vice versa. All right. We'll get into that in a second. So I'm going to say 1 is not going. It's going to go down. So I'm going to say 1 goes to 25. That's my rough guess. And if not, we'll see. So let's do 30. So again, I'm going to buzz through the next part really fast, but this I want to hammer out so we're all on the same page. So if that one's going 29, let's just say, and this one was the one I think I said 27, if not 25. So you have your kind of pairings there, and I have like an A for kind of separating. So I'm going to scoot down here, and let me move this. Whoa, that's the wrong way to do that. All right, let me back. So, okay. So you can just see all the holds over here to the left there. I, you'll never guess what the Von Schnapps are going to drop 28s because that's what I do with them. They had 28th drop for like 3 years. It was good for a while, then it wasn't. Um, let's see here. So, getting back to this. Okay, I was going over down to the bottom five. So again, if I think the bottom five is a safe choice, it means the front is awful. So here we have our examples, and so what I like to do is I like to eliminate, just my own thing I do, is I eliminate the previous cycle drop. So let's see here. Oh, we got. I know I'm a super nerd. This is a combination of things. I found this way of breaking things down, oddly enough, uh, is helpful because it kind of gives you ideas of what could possibly happen or not. So, for example, where I'm doing this, I'm banging out 43 here, and we'll say that one of these is going to 44. So, safe bet says 63. Like 83 is going the way of like the Shitsville. So ignore 83. So I'll say 83 goes to 42, and 41 goes to 44. That's the rough guess. The workshop, the workshop is number one, much in the way a show is like. I'll give you a quick story. So this being the number one rated show, where it's like there's other podcasts out there, kind of way stuff. I worked with a guy who he did a Blues Brothers routine on the side. I think I told the story a long time ago on one of the shows, but he had a card and it said like, Blues Brothers routine, blah, blah, ranked number one show in New England, entertainment value, 5 years running by New England Pro Magazine. And I was like, wow, that's great, dude. And he was like, oh, yeah, it ought to be. I write the magazine. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, we produce it once a year. We do an awards issue. We always make ourselves the number one act. I'm like, that's a lot of work to give yourself an award, but it looked good in the card. So much in the same way, we are number one in that no one else that I know of is doing videos like this because I'm a sad person. This is all part of the fun of the IWAR, I guess. So yeah, let me whip these through real quick. We're almost at the 10-minute mark. We're all of it counter counting down. So 85, is 85 dead or is it going to bounce back? I don't think it's going to go 45. We're not going to see that happen. One thing Mike Cook and I talked about one time is I was asking him about the odds that when 93 is at 195, I'm sorry, when 90 is at 43 point, okay, as it is right now, that is the most common time for both 43s to go to 45. What I'm saying is if they're going to throw us a curveball like that, you can put aside, I always say, like, take one wrestler and put aside their strat if you have the numbers. I think the guys who have big rosters, I had to have one of those guys on sometime to talk about that because when I ran the entire Iron Fed, I had 27 strats, and that felt like it was such a headache. And I can't imagine guys who are writing like 60 strats. Like, dude, like, no. Oh, peanut butter sandwich time. Here you go. There we go. 50. Yeah, like that's just, I can't see the fun in that. I mean, it's a lot of work. And again, if you're cranking out report hits, I guess it's rewarding in that way because you're like, hey, I remember one year I started the year with like a few elite titles or a couple, whatever it was. I had some report hits, and I was like, top 20, and that was the last time I've ever been that high. So I always say we come here to talk shop, not promise fantastic strategies. But I always root for the guys in the NWL hit big numbers. I'm a mark for our guys. Oh yeah, getting back to this. Let me. So do we think that both 43s will go to 45? So what I would do is I'd put 45B, and that's just a plan. I do think we notice 90 is almost always 45. I'm going to say it's going to 45 again. It's just a safe pick. So I put 45B there. I'll put 45B, just keep it consistent. Um, so that means 73 would tank to 41. Or it could be 42. You know, I'll say 42 because I think 73 is going to hang around. It's a DDT. It's Jake Roberts. Come on, man. 44s. So we have 65, kind of a similar point with the every other cycle going to 45. Does that get broken up by 66, which jumps to 45, and then we have 65 going down to 43 maybe, or worse. The safe play here, I'm going to do the safe play just to make things easy for us, is to say the 65 goes up to 45, and this feller goes down to 42. And I'm going to say that I'm going to. This is what happens. You start like doing these things and second guessing yourself. So we'll get this under a second. So what I want to do is 61, 67. So we'll say easy enough. So let's figure out the other 43. I got too many 43s here. So 85. Let me look at this real quick. What did 42 do last cycle? Uh, 42 went to 44, 41. Before that went to 41, 41. So is 42 going to hit again? 61, 65, and 67. 61. So you went. So. Oh, is that your last three holds? Okay, well, that's fine. I'm trying to figure out if I want to go, like, is 44 going to come out of 41 or 42? So 41 just went to 43, 42. Before that, I went to 44, 42, 44. So maybe 42 is on the way back. I always hate picking 42 because you only have one shot going up and one's going to go down. So for sake of argument, I'm going to say that the other 42 doesn't go to 40. It goes 41, 43. So we'll say that you're here, 83. Whatever. You get the idea. They could drop both 42 to 41. And that's also I've been killed by that a couple times where I would have had like a 497 and it's competitive. You want to keep on the title page if you can. And it's really hard. I always remark that we have a number of players, especially in the IWL, who have one wrestler. And the BRL, I think we have 4 or 5 players. In the IWL, I think it's like 7 or 8 that have one wrestler. And what's fascinating about that to me is that you're banking a lot on your call here. Whereas, I have 6 wrestlers in the IWL. I have 5 wrestlers in the BRL. And that's a little more leeway. And of course I had, blow the goat last cycle and go 0 for 12, 0 for 11, I guess. It sucks. And you want to bounce back, and they want to have a big bounce back cycle. So the IWAR events last cycle really, really took a shit cycle and made it, good. I was like, hey, all right, made the finals of one tournament, semifinals of another. Great. It's hard. And I always say, if you're doing other feds, tip of the imaginary cap, because I have a hell of a time just tracking one fed. Yes, Larry couldn't make the call tonight. He had an old buddy in town. But Larry has a tracker for the entire league. And one of the things we talked about last episode that I do think about a lot when it comes to IWA is what is the most painful drop to happen in gold that'll mess with the other feds. Because when I was in Jade years ago with the LWL, I always thought this is going to be so easy. I'll just see what all the other 5 feds do. I've got this last cycle drop 2. This is going to be easy. And invariably, I swear it was crazy. I would pick the exact like if I was like, picking a 27, I'd pick the bad 27. Annoying. So I got to find another 41 in here. So actually, I like the 42 to 41. That would suck, but I could see him doing it. So I'm gonna go with that and say that's for sake of argument. So what I'll do is I'll take these numbers and I'll plug them into one of my guys. And I mentioned, I think before everyone started getting the call, I was kind of mumbling various events. We have so much. This cycle is enormous. We have the IWAR championship matches. We have the Murano Memorial finals. And note that if you're in the finals, the Murano, this same cycle, I'm having the teams in the final challenge the tag champions. So it'll be like the same cycle. So if you win the Murano and you have a great strat, it's go with it. Let's bang it out. And just the timing worked out that way. Johnny B Cup semifinals. We have Summer Series kicking off. We have the second round of the King of the Ring, second round of Queen of the Ring. We have Name That Jobber contest. We're wrapping up the voting on that. If you haven't voted for that yet, please vote. It's funny because going into it, we thought one particular name was going to be like the runaway winner, and it's not that wrestler at all. The cover's done. It looks awesome. Aaron did an amazing job with it. So thank you, Aaron, if you're watching this. If not, well, I thanked him anyways. What else is going on? We have the Wrestle Riot matches for the IWL. The matches happen this cycle. The write-up happens the cycle after. So there's a lot in the line, a lot going on. So you want to, all that. And then we have the Lethal Lottery Tag Tournament starts. So we have the Lethal Lottery Tag Tournament, which, by the way, we got such a positive response from the Lethal Lottery video and the drawing of the names and what Scott and I did. We're going to do a 6-man version of it where we're going to have people just, give us one wrestler, Scott and I, and whoever else we get roped in this. We'll do a Zoom and we'll record it. And we're also, I can announce it now, we're going to do the IWAR draft as a live video. So what that means is live asterisk. The IWAR draft this year is only going to be the BRL and the IWL. So we don't have to really coordinate with a lot of people. It'll just be like, Alex, myself. And what we're going to do is we're going to, and again, these drafts are legit. We don't like make deals and like, oh, like it's like Alex's draft people I wanted. And I was pissed. I was like, So, and vice versa. So what we'll do is we will record it and I'll build a special file of PowerPoint and we'll do like a screen share like I have here, except it'll be like showing all the picks as they happen. So I can be like, okay, the next pick is this, and I'll zip bang. There's the wrestler, and we'll have live reaction. We're gonna have like 4 or 5 of us in this video talking about it, so we can say, oh, so and so got drafted first. That's huge. Who's on the board? Who do you think is gonna go next? And I know, like being a Patriots fan for years, we were the worst team, like the worst. We sucked. All our players always got hurt, or we had a good player, they broke their leg. So the draft was always a big deal. So my dad and I always watched the draft together. It was always fun. And I know for a lot of people, the draft is fun because it's like, cool. Now, what we're doing, though, is we're changing it. Instead of making it be the draft is in October and you have all the way till January to wait, nope. It's going to be the draft is in October, the 12th. What we're probably going to do is air the video that night. So we'll probably tape it over the weekend before, so we'll know what happens. But for the viewer, you're gonna be able to watch this video and just take it in. So what will happen is the contest will begin that cycle. So October 12th will be round 1 of that tournament or the contest, and you'll have 4 cycles to score, and whoever scores the highest will challenge the Revolution champion at the January 4th Magic Clash, which I think is a Magic Class 5. I gotta look it up. But it's a way of getting things started. And you can also transfer immediately. The transfers are always covered. It'll be one wrestler per player or tag team because we just want to keep it simple. We have about 80 or 90 players in the IWAR, probably more than that now. I've lost track, but it was like 95 last I checked. So that's a lot of players. So if we get a third of that, that's 30 wrestlers. We're hoping for about 20 or so. That's a good amount of rounds. So you have a choice of either existing wrestler, create a new wrestler, or tag team. You can do that too. And if you get drafted to your league, you go to your league. And we're just trying to make things a little more fluid and more easy to follow and enjoy. So there's all that and more. So I wanted to break the news on that here. We talked about in the Tubecast, but I wanted to reiterate it. That Tubecast should be posted like any minute now. Alex has been editing it, so it's a good Tubecast. It's a fun one. But we're trying to stream things along. So as we load up the year with events, we have all these things going on. The Bound for Glory, the Tag Team Derby, the Triple D Cup 6-man tournament. Those are coming up. We're going to have the Lethal Lottery, which is going to be, I think the Devil's Triangle, we're going to call it, the Trios tournament. That's going to be going on. That's going to be another random pairing type thing. It's a lot of fun. So I hope you guys enjoy it. We, bang this out. I will kind of give you guys an example here. I always say this is this little freebie strategy approach. And it's my local guy talking about that. That's my guys, whatever. What you see here, 29, 27, 30. This is what I use as a sample. It's in the IWAR magazine. It's in the NWL bulletin as Willie Penham's little tips. It's an easy strategy to set up. Kind of go for a high score. So it just uses either 28, 27, 27, 26, 28, 26. So feel free to use this, plug in the numbers, and hopefully, we'll have a good result on Tuesday, at least better for me than it was last time. If you have questions, I'm happy to take them. So I will end the show here. I'm going to get to bed. I've been up since 5, so I'm beat. It's 12:15 here in Boston. So, let's see here. You're welcome. This is always a mishmash show. I always prefer to have Alex or Larry or Scott to work off of. But hopefully the drops won't be too brutal this time. And I wish everyone luck. So with that, we will end the show. And how do I stop the show here? This is why I'll edit up the last few seconds. I'll stop share and end it. So thanks, guys. I'll catch you later.